Hi Amazon, hi Ganges, welcome Year 3 to your new week of literacy learning. Thank you for all the work that you sent through to Miss Robinson and I. We've really enjoyed reading and marking it, and we look forward to sharing some of your efforts in next week's video. Now, this week's book is called Moon Man, and it's published by Phaidon, and the picture that forms the basis of your learning journey in literacy this week is this beautiful illustration. I don't know if you can see it there. Okay, so have a good look at that illustration. And in your first session, your Explore It session, we want you to think about what is happening in this picture. And the extract that goes with this picture starts like this. The noise brought hundreds of people from a nearby town. Soldiers sped to defend the earth. Firemen hastened to quench the flaming light. The ice cream man hurried to set up his stand for the spectators. So just have a listen to me read that again. The noise brought hundreds of people from a nearby town. Soldiers sped to defend the earth. Firemen hastened to quench the flaming light. The ice cream man hurried to set up his stand for the spectators. And the spectators are the people that are going to be watching this event. Now, as you look at this picture, in your Explore It session, have a think about what's happening here. Where and when do you think this scene takes place? And think about the words in the text with your family. What do you think the noise was? Think about the power of the phrase, soldiers sped to defend the earth. Have a think with your family what the word defend means. And what does this tell you about the seriousness of the incident that they're going to? What do you think the people in this picture are rushing to the scene expecting to find? So when they get there, what do you think they might see? And we want you to think about this illustration and how it makes you feel. What do you like or dislike about it? And does it remind you of anything you know in stories or real life? Now, when you get to your Illustrate lesson, we want you to think about the army, the police, the fire brigade, the ice cream man, and the spectators all rushing across the page in that picture. What do you think they will find when they get to the next scene? So imagine you turn that page over to the next page in that story. What would it look like? What might have produced the noise and the flaming light? And remember those words, defending the earth. So it's not just a country or a small part, it's the earth. So what could they be defending the earth from? And think about the title that goes with this extract. The book's called Moon Man. That might give you some clues. And then when you've thought about what the next scene will look like and you've got a clear picture in your mind, what we'd like you to do is use your imagination to draw that next scene. So when all those soldiers arrive at the scene, what are they faced with? What's right in front of them? What are they having to defend? Now, in your third session on Wednesday, your Talk About It lesson with your family, we want you to be detectives. What clues do you have to what has happened? What might have caused the noise that attracts hundreds of people? And what has caused a flaming light? Can you think of anything that you've seen in the news or on television that might cause a flaming light? And think about those verbs that you've heard in that extract. Sped, hastened, hurried. How do they make you feel about this event? And maybe with your family you can talk about verbs and verb endings in the past tense and whether they're regular or irregular verbs. Now, in your Thursday session, your Imagine It session, again, we want you to focus on the people in the illustration, as well as hundreds of people from a nearby town. So those people rushed to the scene. Imagine that you're one of those hundreds of people from the nearby town that rushed to that scene. You could be in the army, you could be in the fire brigade or the police, you could be the ice cream man, you could be the father or daughter in the convertible car. So you could be those people there. Think about how you would feel as you rush to that scene. Would you be anxious, excited, terrified? Or would you be feeling something else? Maybe you could add a thought bubble or a speech bubble to the illustration and share what you might be thinking. Or you might want to do a small piece of writing, enroll as one of the characters, describing your thoughts, feelings and actions. Maybe you could write a diary entry for that first day as you're rushing to the scene and all the emotions that you feel. And on your final day, your Create It lesson on Friday, we want you to think about a news story maybe that's happened in real life, or you could use your imagination and think of one. And because the story is called Moon Man, maybe you could relate it to something to do with a comet or something about a flashing light from space. And we'd like you to write a recount or a newspaper report or a magazine article about it. Maybe you'd like to think about the recent launch of Elon Musk's rocket in space. Maybe you could rewatch that and write an article about that event. And when you've finished writing your report, share it with someone at home. Read it to your family. Maybe you could present it as a newspaper report and ask your family to read it, like you do when you read First News when we get it on a Friday at school. And some of you read it during Golden Time or guided reading. We hope you enjoy this literacy unit this week, children. Do send in your work and upload it to Purple Mash. And we look forward to sharing all the lovely learning that you do around this book and last week's book in next week's video. Till then, take care and happy learning. Bye for now.